Hi, Linda.
Hi, Danny.
How are ya?
I'm fine.
Woohoo!
Beautiful day here. What's it like for you?
It's a little overcast and cold.
It was overcast and cold this morning, but now the sun is breaking through.
We had a couple of days where the sun was shining and it was starting to get warm, and I go, oh boy, here we go. And then it just flipped into drizzle,
Yeah, we
cold.
had a little drizzle this morning. Yesterday at the Giants game, it was cold. It was
Oh,
overcast. The wind would blow and it was freezing. And then the sun came out.
perfect.
Fortunately, it wasn't too hot.
Yeah,
We still got that cool breeze. It was very
yeah.
nice.
Did the Giants win?
They won 10th inning.
See, 10th inning.
They won by
Woo!
10th inning.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so we got some news today. So thank you for, I don't know.
Oh, I was like, what's the gossip? What's
What's
going on?
that's, and Trump is like, on the airwaves all the time. And I was reading an article by, I think it was Joyce Vance. And what she was saying was like, there's this carnival atmosphere that's being surrounded by this. And when you look at it, it's like, this is really sad for American history,
It's very sad. It's very sad.
And so the energy of like, yeah, we want to see accountability, but we don't want to get into us versus them any more than it is.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah, it's,
But today on MSNBC, I had that, I usually change to CNN, but it was in the background. And Katie Couric spoke her big mouth again and said, I don't know why everybody keeps picking on Trump. They don't really have a case here. I couldn't believe what came out of her mouth. Why don't you
Yeah.
just go be on Fox News?
right, right. Why does everybody pick on Trump? Let me count the ways.
Yeah, some lady wrote, oh, he can't defend himself. And I wrote her back, all the terrible, god-awful things he says about others.
Yeah,
And you're worried that this man can't how's it feel to be on the other side?
right.
He's ruined homes and families. He's ruined people.
And still is continuing to ruin them today.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
those Republicans that are inside there with him. In fact, his son texted something, using a phone in the courthouse, so he's probably going to be in trouble.
Oh, good.
What was his Johnson and a couple of Tubervilles there today.
Oh boy.
And I can't believe that they're calling him Mr. Trump. They need to use him by his proper name, President Trump. No, they don't.
No.
Ex-president.
I'm indicted president.
So I don't know what you picked up on this or if you even care about this, but I think he's going to be found guilty. I really do. It's not a preponderance. It's beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
There's too much there.
Right.
Too much collaborating, because Trump won't go on the stand.
You don't think he will?
No. Well, he'd love to, but they know that will just crack it wide open.
Oh my gosh. Now that would be a carnival.
Yeah.
If he went on stage. I think that I saw that you did a video about Cohen
last night. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't watched it yet, but when I read on him, I got that he was going to be really good in the beginning. He was going to struggle during the cross, but get it back together.
That's again. What I was feeling too. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but don't forget, it may have already happened. I saw Trump doing something that really upsets the judge. I thought I saw the judge tell the jurors out of the room.
Yeah.
And then he gives Trump a what for. He may even put him in another room to watch the same. He might speak out, but apparently he already did this. He was swearing and talking trash.
Yeah.
When Stormy was up, and they said, get that guy into place. So that might have been what I got.
Yeah, right. I got, and I read on this a while ago, on this case, that the judge was going to put Trump in a timeout situation, like a
Yeah,
little kid, you know,
put
not
him
in
in a room
jail,
and he
but
can watch it on a TV. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's what I got. So, you know, I'm just, I can't follow every a little bit because it just brings the energy
It's
down.
very hard to I don't know how I can do it, but I do it mostly because I'm on this YouTube and people need to know. People really need to
Right.
feel uplifted. They're sick of all this. And I keep telling, because people, Daniel told me on my YouTube, people are tripping, thinking, oh God, the numbers changed now. Trump, Biden is behind. It's like, please don't go there. Just don't go
No,
there.
no.
Don't
And
go
we
there.
are not going to go there today, even though there's a new poll out that suggest, I know.
No, don't, but from where?
Right.
And the other thing is who, we want to talk about polls. That they thought Obama was going to lose to Mitt Romney for sure. Mitt Romney was shocked when he lost
Right.
because the poll said he was ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
The poll said Hillary Clinton was ahead.
Yeah.
Don't believe the polls. But
No.
I want to mention one thing. Hats off to Stormy Daniels. Apparently, Melania had made a comment to her. I don't know when this has happened about her being a hooker. And Stormy Daniels said, well, actually, I didn't get paid for sex. She said, so you cannot call me a hooker. She said, but unlike you, who sold your private parts and your soul for this guy, and she said, by the way, she said, nice new boobs you got. I'm hoping to see more nudies of you online. I thought that was fantastic.
You know, there's the way that she comes across.
Oh, she's hysterical.
You know, she's to the point. She's unapologetic for who she is, what she does, and she goes, "Yeah, I made mistakes. I didn't think I didn't think I was gonna sleep with." Well,
yeah, and she didn't take it to, oh, he assaulted me. She didn't do anything like
none
that.
of that.
She said, I was, I take responsibility, she said.
Right.
And the other thing, God forbid, if I would have been like her if I had that kind of occupation back. I would have been very, F you, I don't care what you think.
Right.
But, it's very hard for me to do a pole dancing around a telephone pole. The splinters were awful. But anyway, but I remember my first husband.
You can get those splinters out with tape. I mean, not that. I mean, a friend told me this.
I remember my first husband. Honest to God, he used to tell me this. I don't know why you're sitting on that $1 million bun, but you could. If I were you, I'd be making all kinds of money.
That's your husband?
That was my first husband.
Awesome.
I remember the VP of where I worked made a pass towards me. I was so upset. We didn't live far from the building that I worked, and I ran home to my first husband. Oh, he offered me $300 if I would just, and he said, and you didn't take it? That's
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you, this is back in the 70s, by the way.
Yeah, well, you could have gotten some new patent leather. Did you say Melania had nice boots or boobs? Either way, you could have gotten nice patent leather.
She didn't use the word boobs. I'm using the appropriate YouTube. But she said, and I'm looking forward to seeing other nudies of you online.
Yeah, right.
She said, by the way, girlfriend, love the.
And didn't Alina Habba get new boots?
Oh, she got a new purse, I thought.
Oh.
Like a $20,000 purse.
Okay. Well, we won't go there. That'll go down the rabbit hole, especially with me.
I had to get new boots because I had cancer. So
yeah, that's different.
Yeah. Because I had to back in some sort of truck to be able to pick them up and pull them out of the OR.
Beep.
So beep, beep. We did have a really really huge busted woman. I mean, probably the biggest I've ever seen. God bless her heart. She was in labor. And we had to do a crash section. Well, we put her in what they call Trendelenburg, where her head is lower. Well, as she starts going in Trendelenburg, the breasts start covering her face. And the anesthesiologist, he's just a wee guy, and he's trying to push her breasts off her intubation. It was, we were laughing, we were trying to help him, but we were crying, we were laughing so hard. But it was, we got it sorted. We got some ropes and tied them.
Jeez.
So,
You know, you have to have a sense of humor in an operating room.
the best surgeons I ever worked with, neurologists are god awful. They're mean and they're rude. But the ones I worked with were from UC Davis, and they were dentists. And they were, you know, studying, because we would put a lot of special needs patients under to do their work because they can't handle it wide awake. So we would knock them out and do root canals and stuff. They had the best time. I laughed so hard I was crying. They were squirting each other with the water. It was funny.
Well, you need it. It's high stress. So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to some questions. We got some from the community, sent us some in, and I got some other ones. You know, we're constantly reading on all the Republicans that are in trials and things like that. So I just want to shift it up a little bit. What do you think of the Democratic Senator Bob Menendez and his wife? He's now in trial for accepting bribes of gold and cash, gold bars. And so he's not, so he's being, besides charges including bribery, extortion, fraud, obstruction of justice. And when they charged him, he's now in trial. And you look at the other guy, I mean, he just keeps delaying it and delaying it.
Yeah, but Menendez keeps denying it and denying it. I don't know why he thinks he's going to be found guilty, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I think.
He's going to be kicked off. He's no longer going to be.
Yeah.
He just got some, like Trump, they got that attitude like, oh no, you can't touch me.
Right.
And you know, it's that new wife of his. I'm not going to put all the blame on her, but she was letting people know that he was up for sale.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, she is, she's under indictment too. But she's sick, so she can't go to trial. So
what's wrong, or do you know?
I don't know. She has a toothache or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, is Trump going to go to Barron's graduation?
I think he'll actually make an appearance. I really do. And I'll tell you, they told him he was going to be at the Republican thing.
Yeah.
Somebody came up with, it was a great idea. And I think Barron, he's a sweetheart, actually, but he's, you know, has some issues like my youngest son. And I think he nodded like, okay. But when it came to what the reality was, he panicked. And that's when his mom got him out of it. She made the announcement that he has other, no, he doesn't want to be involved in that.
Yeah. But so when I was thinking about Trump going to the graduation, because that's going to be a circus, and it's going to be pulling away from his son graduating. And when I thought about that, I go, is Melania going to really want that circus atmosphere?
I don't think she wants him to come.
No, I don't either.
Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll identify it. I thought he was going to definitely try. But maybe he'll say Melania didn't want to take away from Barron's graduation. But Melania being there is a big deal too.
Yeah, that's, well, I mean, yeah.
But he has another event to do right after that. So
yeah, of course. Of course. All right. Let's get into, I think you talked about this before, but because there's another huge fire up in Canada, British Columbia.
No, when did that happen?
Oh, it's been going on for a week or something. There might be there's a town called, I didn't write it down.
Is it being burnt down? It's so bad.
Well, today they were evacuating people. They said, get out, and they could go.
We need to do prayers for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
felt
so,
more fires in Canada.
did you? There is a really cool app. I hope I wrote it down. It's NASA Earth Observatory. It has a fire map, and you can
Ooh.
scroll from 2000 to 2024, and you can see the fires on
It's
the
called
Earth.
NASA.
Earth Observatory.
And can we see even the fires that happened back when I moved in this house in 2016?
Yes, from 2000 to 2024. And you can see they go over the same places. It just reburns the same places.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a cyclical thing to it that I knew of, but when you look at it, it's pretty impressive.
Wow.
Pretty impressive. So what else? Because you're real good at this. What else? Where else do you see? Do you see fires in California like what we had in 1617?
No, not that bad. Actually, I see one more Southern California, a good
Mm.
size.
Yeah.
I do see Southern California. And maybe out in the Point Reeves area. There was a huge one out there years ago.
Yeah.
That burnt down Jesse Cohen Young's studio. But and then he moved to Hawaii. But I do see huge, I do see some good fires, but the one that's California that's flagging me, I just got to tell you what I see is more towards the south. I feel Oregon's going to have some more too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. Yeah. And the only reason I say that is because that's where I'm going. I'm going to take a vacation, take a trip up to Oregon. I go, oh, I hope there's not going to be wildfires up there.
What month are you going?
In end of July.
Okay, because it feels like July, maybe beginning of July. I went up there to see the eclipse years ago, and there was fires going on, and that smoke was pretty thick.
Pretty thick, yeah.
Did you see the lights at Mount Shasta?
When?
Somebody posted on Twitter, I think, that they showed the lights on Mount Shasta, the Borealis lights.
Oh no, I gotta go look. Yeah,
beautiful. And San Francisco Bay Bridge, San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, beautiful lights.
Wow, it was all, yeah, down here it was, we had the marine layer, so we couldn't see anything. I was thinking of driving into the desert. Cool. So San Francisco.
San Francisco, all you got to do, in fact, Google it, Borealis, whatever they call them. And Golden Gate Bridge, and oh, it's fantastic.
All right, and Mount Shasta, that would be cool. So this leads me to finally getting to some written questions.
Okay.
The weirdness that we're all feeling, right? It could be from the solar flares, all these huge solar flares that are kind of particular to this time. I mean, we haven't had these types of solar flares in thousands of years. And so
not this bad, because we've had them before.
Correct, but not this bad.
It's a storm, it's an actual storm. But according to what I read from NASA and stuff, these storms don't hurt humans as long as you're on Earth, you're not flying. They don't really affect you. That's what they say.
Right. Okay.
But, I started having nosebleeds and ringing in my ears. I don't know about you.
Okay, so I disagree with NASA.
Yeah.
Because of just that. My tinnitus is off the hook. And the other thing that that Earth is doing that I read on was that we are going through a photon belt of high energy. The last time the Earth went through this photon belt was 12,000 years ago, plus or minus, 500 years. So I was thinking about this, and I was thinking that, we're going to be doing a show together, and I go, what what was going on 12,000 years ago that we're recycling? I go, what was Linda doing 12,000 years ago? What was her past life like 12,000 years ago? You want to know?
Yeah, you didn't see me pole dancing, did you?
What? Yeah, I did. And I saw you with that great big roll of duct tape and you're pulling the splinters out. And I go, she knows what to do. You just forgot about it in this life.
So what was I doing, my friend?
All right. So, Galactic Heritage cards. So, this is a little ET stuff. This is pretty fascinating. 3 cards. The first card I got is Forgiveness and Gratitude. It's the Dolphin card. This is all about, dolphins are all about Lemurian energy. They're all about forgiveness and gratitude. But the thing with this, with dolphins, is they're a higher form of intelligence. Humans have hunted them and hurt them, yet they consider, according to this book, they consider humans as part of creator source. So when they forgive them, they don't like really forgive them because that seems like, oh, well, you did something bad. And they go, no, 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 let's just be in gratitude. So they're more about the gratitude, not the laying blame on, oh, you did something wrong, so I have to forgive you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's a higher energy gratitude than just forgiveness. The second card I got was, and here's where you were, the Atlantean era.
Wow.
So you were in Atlantis as a Lemurian, as a dolphin, as a higher form, and you came back to Earth. Why, Linda? Why? Unfinished business.
Wow.
And the cool thing about this that I thought of when I pulled that unfinished business, look at the 2 numbers up here. You have 84 and 48.
Yeah.
Unfinished business. So you came back. You just switched numbers to come back to and to calm people down, as what you're doing with your YouTube. 12,000 years ago, Linda was a dolphin.
Wow, I love it. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. So we're all feeling this shift in this new awareness, in this higher vibration, coming through us as we get hit with these solar flares and as we go through this photon belt. So it's just, just feels like a little buckling up and not staying into that low level energy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So here's a question we got from, and this moves right into, from DRC 1989. She goes, now that so much of the readers are seeing that the past political readings are coming to light, what can we do to push a positive vibe towards balancing out all the negativity?
Well, America, the people here are kind of the show me. And as afraid as we are as Trump, he's really, at the end of the day, it was something like you told me when you read my book, it was hard for you to see how my dad treated me. But at the end of the day, look what happened. Look what came. And I think it's actually going to make us stronger. We do have this chance, and there's more light than dark. So what I feel is that what's going to happen is, as the prophecies come true, because it's more than just you and me, a lot of readers.
Yes. So yeah.
His ending, I totally trust Andre and Hogarth. Yeah. The readers of the stars are saying, oh, hail to the no.
Yeah, right.
He's going to dissipate in some manner. He will not be president again. And as that happens, it kind of puts a relief, but we still have that boom, 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 boom kind of energy. Yep. Now, I don't see Armageddon in a civil war. Don't see it at all.
No.
I just don't see it. Because you can't get more than 3 people to be in Manhattan for his court date. He begged people to come out and fight.
Yeah.
I think 12 people showed up at Mar-a-Lago in one of his first arrests, 12. And they didn't let them use the toilet.
I know. I was like really upset. I go, I gotta go. And they go, no. And then they found out. Then they go, wait a minute.
But I could see there was one thing in New York, and I saw him looking, and he was desperately looking for people that are crowding around, because what happened January 6th, they think that they have that kind of power. They don't, and they're about ready to find out.
And you can see how desperate he is by his RFK Jr. video. I mean, that was, it's a little pathetic. It's a lot pathetic, but.
Well, and that beach thing that he did in New Jersey. Oh, did you see Roger Stone, Conehead, posted a picture that, oh, look at the crowds that showed up for him. And everybody's looking, wait a second, there's no mountains in New Jersey. And for some reason, it was a picture of I don't know what famous artist was going to perform, and it was hundreds of thousands of people, but it was in Brazil or something.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like,
oh my
but
gosh.
you see how they blatantly, just blatantly.
Yeah.
But this crowd that showed up wasn't no 80,000 even. They showed, they were there with the cameras, and some of them got paid to be there. They were just leaving. They were leaving in droves. And then he had a scattered amount, and he's talking about the Hannibal, whatever his name, the guy that ate his guests for dinner, and he just goes off the wall.
Is that wrong? No wonder I don't have a lot of people coming over for dinner. Yeah, that movie, the first movie was really good. The second movie, when they're having them over for dinner, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't think I watched the second movie.
Yeah, that was kind of a hard one. But the movie
Jodie Foster did a fantastic job.
Yeah. And the other thing too is what you're saying is not focus so much on what's going on right now. Look towards the future, and really, what do we want to see? What do I want to see happen in the United States? Put that forward in the universe.
Yes.
Right. So right now we're taking just little segments, snapshots to, and saying it's all going to be okay, but focus on the future. Yes. Not focus on this little bit. Yeah. All right.
Or even better, as Eckhart Tolle will teach you with the Tao, be in the present at all times.
Yeah.
Just be in the present, because in that vibrational energy of being connected to the now and breathing in that air and vibrationally only putting out well-being, that can break this cycle of negative. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, when I heard what you were saying there, I go, well, you can be in the now, just focused on the trial, but really it should be focusing on the earth, on the planet where we are. So if you're focused just on New York City trial, maybe expand it to stick your hand in the dirt and work on plants and get regrounded in what really matters.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We're going to still stick with this is from Flora K. She asked, how does Putin feel about 45 and the fact that he may not become president again? Okay, he is not going to become president again. And she wants to know if 45 thinks that he might be thrown out a window if he doesn't win.
I don't see him murdered, no.
Putin throwing him out the window, I don't either. Yeah, I was trying to make that.
How does Putin feel? He already knows Trump buries himself, because I saw him doing this.
Yeah.
Buries himself. He says things that are just off the wall. They even show about this trial going on, the things they did to try to hide and all this LLC and stuff. They said he'd have been better off paying her $150,000 and then let him talk about it later. Because I guess there's no crime in paying someone off and sign the NDE. It's a crime if you make it, try to make it disappear, and it's because of your political benefit.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think they're doing such a good job in proving that. They have diagrams, and because it gets kind of dry for me, and I mean, I really lose focus, except when Stormy Daniels is on. For some reason, I'm focused on her.
I thought she was terrific.
But so all the notes and stuff, and I think the prosecution is just so lined up and so focused on what the end game is going to be, and the defense is too scattered because they're listening to Trump.
And like that one attorney telling Stormy Daniels, and I understand he golfed the best. Did you know that he was the best golfer at this event you were at? Why bring that up?
Yeah.
That was from Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know that he came in they lied even about that.
Right.
But Trump insisted because he wanted the public to know he was fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I don't think they're buying it.
But, and they were very, very focused on, don't describe his genitalia. Very focused on that because of her description, and everybody would have had a big laugh. So
all I can say is never eating mushrooms again.
My son doesn't like mushrooms. It's such a drag. I got one kid doesn't like onions, another doesn't like tomato. Then no, I mean, the way I cook is so disappointing because I love me some mushrooms and onions.
I love anything that is in front of me. Just put it on the plate. I'm probably eating it. All right. This is something that Lynn Streeter was asking. And I don't read a lot on the Israeli-Gaza conflict. It's too hard for me to get into that. But she was asking if Israel is going to be taking a hit. I've always seen Netanyahu leaving, and I don't know what she means by taking a hard hit.
Well, last night you saw on my video, or did you watch it?
I didn't get to see it yet.
I saw Netanyahu sweating bullets.
Oh.
So something's getting ready to come up with him.
Okay.
I'm going to have Andre, I think, on Thursday. We'll take a good look at his chart.
Yeah.
Something's getting ready. He's got bad chart like Putin and Trump.
Yeah, yeah. Because well, my timing has been so off. I've seen Cannon out of there, and I think she's getting ready to go.
Well, is she leaving after the presidential election?
I think she's leaving before.
Oh, I love it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I saw her leaving, but I'm unsure when. I feel Jack Smith has some plan going on, but I can't tell what it is.
Yeah, I do too. He is. And Jack Smith and the other guy, who I can't remember his name, that he recently appointed, who is another special prosecutor that Jack Smith, I think, knew from The Hague. Ooh. Anyway, so it's, they got some things, they got some brains going on there.
They got some good brains going on.
Yeah, and they're not worried about parking ticket violations.
I'm wondering if it's the January 6th thing that we're going to see coming before the election. If the Supreme Court, who are deliberately holding on to this, finally release.
Yeah.
They might not say, they might send it back to the court, but this judge will have a mock thing without a jury to let everybody know all the evidence.
Yeah. I see the January 6th happening before Mar-a-Lago, the documents case, only because if Cannon is out, then they have to get a new judge in, and that new judge has to get up to speed. Whereas the New York January 6th, she's up to speed.
She's ready to go.
Ready to go.
She's already fastened her seatbelt.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. So Yeah, so Israel, I think Netanyahu is going to be taking a hit. Maybe not Israel,
Could
but
be this current thing, they're planning on bombing that place. They just
yeah,
showed a 1-year-old little boy being pulled out of the rebel. They just not listening, and they don't care. They told Biden, whatever, we don't need your bombs. Well, guess what, sucker?
yeah,
And the people who are marching are in Israel. They don't want this anymore.
no, no, yeah. And one of the things that I got last night was with all this, because I had to turn off the news. I go, I can't watch it, I can't watch it. But it's changing. People are going, we can't deal with this war and destruction. I mean, this is changing the fabric of um, how we're going to deal with conflict in the future. I don't think it's just going to be, we're going to be bombing cities. I
Yeah,
think,
but I do see there's going to be some, when Biden gets back in, they're going to really put some structure on what even presidents can do. They're going
yes,
to be very clear.
yeah.
And I do think they're going to hit the Supreme Court.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That was another thing where my timing is off because I've seen Thomas, Alito, and I know Kavanaugh's in trouble. And
Yeah,
I
I
thought,
always saw them grabbing his, and he's shocked that he gets taken out. But I
yeah,
think when Biden comes back in, they're going to do some serious, where did you get that money?
yeah. And are you feeling? I haven't really thought about this, but are you feeling them packing him? And I don't want to call it packing, but just changing the number of Supreme Court justices on the court.
I see Biden, he's from the old school. He doesn't want to do it. But
Okay.
I think, Biden, I don't see him doing the full terms. He might have to step down because he's tired. But when Kamala gets in there, she'll change it.
Yeah. And
But I
it's not.
do see Kavanaugh and Alito having to step down. But I do see Thomas exiting because something's happened, either
Yeah.
his health or his wife, something.
Right. Right. I got health, but that was a while ago when I read on him. So
And Jack Smith's, his hands are itching because the reason he doesn't want to get all those congressmen right now is until the January 6th is completed, then he's going to go back and hit up, including Ginny Thomas.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that will be another carnival atmosphere, and it's sad for the country.
You know what? People are tired.
Yeah.
People are
But
tired. That's why you can't pay attention to those polls, because people are tired. People are done.
yeah,
People were tired of him the last time too, but it's even worse now.
it's worse now. But I just see that, we're going to have a different United States in the future. It's not going to look like it does now. There's going to be a lot of changes, and they're going to be for the better, and they're going to be for more inclusion and equality. So we just have to get through this rough patch, and I think we will. All
Okay.
right. How you doing with time? Good?
Yeah, I just want you guys to know that Jeffrey Stein, our subscriber, had his surgery and they removed 1/3 of his tongue, but the
Ooh.
cancer is gone. They took a graft from his thigh to reconstruct his tongue. He's on a feeding tube, which is normal. He has a slight fever. So we're going to do prayers on him too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I need to write him after this. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's got to be tough.
Oh, poor guy. But it's so common. Thank God they caught it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor thing.
All right. Yeah, prayers out to him. Jeez.
Yeah. That was from Auntie Mel.
Oh, okay. So let's we'll switch gears a little bit. What are you getting any kind of feeling? Can you tap in to see how Julia Navalny is doing? And this is coming from Sunshine Bermuda.
I think she's hampered down, like she's keeping her and her family away because there's a lot of people Putin's trying to send out to take her out. What an idiot. Why would he take out the wife?
Yeah.
Such an idiot.
Yeah.
But
can't wait for
when
him to,
Putin goes, she's gonna step up to the forefront.
yeah, yeah, I see that too. I haven't really thought about her a lot, so,
She hasn't been coming out talking.
say that again?
Getting too many threats. She hasn't been coming out talking because she's getting too many threats.
Yeah, yeah. And she's powerhouse.
Yeah,
She's really,
she may even, I hate to say this, no, I don't hate to say it. She may eventually be somebody who's a bigwig in the Russian community.
yeah, yeah, I see that. I see that.
But I think her kids are very Americanized. They feel more like they'll stay in America.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Next question we have is from Yoga by Jane. And this is kind of an interesting question with, it's weather related. West Nebraska and Middle America is nonstop, unrelenting wind these days. Is this a result of climate change or deliberate weather modification?
Climate change.
Okay.
You know, here where I am, it's been really windy a lot of days.
Yeah.
Remember that it was told when the weather's shifting, we're going to see a lot of winds, flooding, and fires.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody is feeling this shifting
Yeah.
weather.
And we'll look at the tornado thing. That was uncanny. Tornado after tornado after, and now we're coming into a hurricane.
Yeah.
So if the hurricane season really takes off, yeah, we're in the middle of climate change.
And we're getting I just read, we're in El Nino right now for the past 2 years, and now it's switching to La Nina.
La Nina.
So for the West, it's going to be a little drier.
Okay.
But, then again, you never, when I read that, I go, because things are shifting so much, the normal patterns do not apply anymore.
No.
So even though it's a normal La Nina pattern, it doesn't apply. So you can't expect it.
What is going to happen on the east?
On the east, as far as what they say pattern wise, I don't know, because I'm only concerned about me.
Okay.
But the East Coast, let me think. The East Coast.
The more water related stuff, hurricanes, storms, freezing.
Yeah, it feels like there's a like something coming up the East Coast a little bit that like what was Sandy? That went up pretty high.
That was terrible, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it like that, but I see that it's gonna come up. I see it coming up the coast around that area, not like in the Florida or the Georgia area, but further north. And it's just people are gonna have to hunker down like in any hurricane, and government's gonna have to pay some money.
Yeah.
So it is gonna
Well,
cost.
I've always seen Florida. I've told this since I started this channel. The south part of Florida underwater.
Yeah. Well, and you look at the I mean, the Philippines are in the news a lot
Yeah.
but those low-level islands and the people that live there and that have their lives based on the ocean,
Yeah.
that's just going to be devastating for them. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, we got one more.
Okay, my friend.
So this is from Skybird. How is the Secretary of State Blinken holding up? He's been doing a lot of stuff back and forth with Israel, and
yeah, he's having a tough time. He's working hard.
He's working.
The one I know, I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, I think Garland is going to step down for the next season.
Yeah.
Blinken, I see him working hard. He might not take another time because he's exhausted.
He's exhausted.
Yeah.
I saw him for 2 seconds on the news the other day. And when I looked at him and stepped away from what he was saying and just looked at him, oh yeah, he's exhausted. He
Yeah.
is beat up. And I mean, I get tired flying to Vegas for those poll day. I'm sorry. I get tired on a short trip. Can you imagine those long trips?
Although he has a very nice setup. They
Yeah,
probably sleeping pills. He's got a comfy bed. He doesn't have to sit among really other people, probably his own private toilet, take a shower.
Yeah.
Because they pamper the president and the administration.
Sure. As they should, because that's so brutal than what they're dealing with. Not only the physical time change and going through altitude adjustments, which I still think affects us energetically, and going through this photon belt that we are feeling: tinnitus, nosebleeds, dizziness, sleepiness, just so exhausted.
Everybody's writing me with that. And I know, because in the afternoon, I'm ready for a nap.
Oh, me too.
I used
Lately,
to be the type that couldn't sleep during the day. Now I can sleep and sleep again at night.
yeah. And my sleep schedule has just been so off. It's just been awful. I don't get to sleep till like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Ooh.
And then a lot of times I'll wake up 2 or 3 times in between that 3 and 7 or 6:30 when I wake up, and I'm waking up in between, and I'm going, I should be crankier, but I'm not. I'm not, until I get behind the wheel and then watch out.
I know. I remember the days I used to pop in the car and drive down to Laguna Beach. 8 hours driving. Didn't feel a thing.
Didn't feel a thing.
Those days are gone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But so just thinking of all that energy shift for the world leaders, they're feeling it too, even though they're pushing through it. I have to believe that everybody is feeling this shift. And as some people say, it's adjusting us for that higher vibration energy that's in the photon belt. So maybe it's raising us as well. So
yeah.
All right. That's it. You have anything
Remember
else?
when we first time I was on with you, and I had my hair in rollers with a bathrobe? I nearly knocked you out. You were busting out.
Oh my gosh. It was, well, that was when I had the bathrobe tarot name. And
yeah.
I had my shorter name and shorter hair, and somebody was saying, oh no, it was you. You go, I'm showing up in curlers. And I go, yeah. It's the very first time I read with you. You show up in curlers and a bathrobe. I know. And I'm like dressed in a suit and tie because I'm going on with Linda G. I'm like taking it all off, grabbing my robe.
And a burrito in one hand and a cocktail in the other.
That was funny. That was funny. Yes.
Yeah, we had a good time with that.
Yeah, we did.
But you know what? You do it once, it's old already. You couldn't really replay that.
No, we tried.
We tried, but
on your birthday, we had everybody showing up.
Showing up with curlers. That was so much fun.
It was good. It was good. All right, Linda, anything you want to say goodbye?
I just want everybody to say prayers for Jeffrey. Yeah. Say prayers for Israel, Palestine, and the Ukraine. And for President Biden to hang in there.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. Peace and love. Thank you, Linda.
Peace and love. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.